Hi, today in this lesson we're going to be learning about how to find the volume of cones and pyramids. And overall, the formula for the volume of a cone or pyramid is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Now, more specifically, the volume of a cone is 1/3 the area of the base. Now, the base is a circle, so it would be pi r squared times the height. And the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the area of the base. And we can't be more specific because it depends on what shape your base is, and then times the height. And so these are your formulas. You'll want to add these to your note cards. All right, let's do a few problems. Find the volume of the solid. Always start by writing the formula, 1/3 area of the base times the height. So the area of the base, we have to look at what we have here for a base. It's a triangle, so that would be base times height divided by 2. We are talking about the base of the triangle, all right? So the base of the triangle is 4, the perpendicular height is 6. So that would be 24 divided by 2, which is 12. So the area of the base is 12. And the perpendicular height from the triangle to the tippy top is 9. And that would give you 36. And volume is cubed, meters cubed. All right, in the next one, we have volume equals 1/3 area of the base. This is a cone. It's an oblique one, it looks like. 1/3 area of the base is pi r squared times the height. So now we just fill in the numbers. We take 1/3 times pi times the radius, which is 2.2. Let me put parentheses around that, and squared, and then times the height, which is 4.5. And when I do this, what I like to do is multiply the entire numerator together and then divide by 3. And that would give us approximately 22.8, and that would be centimeters cubed. All right, here's another one. Again, we have a pyramid. The volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. Now, area of the base. You have to determine what shape it is. Oh, we have a square. So that would be base times height, which is 5 times 5. So the base's area is 25. And the perpendicular height from the base to the tippy top is 6. Which gives us 50. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to skip that one and go to the next one here. So here we have a hexagonal pyramid. So again, volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. So we have to find the area of the base. Now to do that, this is a regular hexagon for a base because all the sides are congruent. So we're going to make a triangle. And we know that this is 12 right here. So we are going to have to think back a little bit. So we have to find the area of that triangle. Now, we do not know what the height of that little triangle is. Let me make that a little bit bigger. So we know that the entire base of the triangle is 12. So we're going to have to first, because that's the only thing we know is that that length is 12, we have to determine what this angle is right here. So we know that there are 360 degrees in a circle, and if you divide it by 6, you get 60. So this entire angle is 60 degrees, which means this is 30. Okay, and so we know that this is going to be 6 because it's half of 12, and we need the height, so let's call that x. So if we're going to use trig, the 6 is the opposite, the x is the adjacent, so that would be tangent. So the tangent of 30 equals the opposite, which is 6, over the adjacent, which is x. So we cross multiply. And then lastly, we'll have to divide to get x by itself. So x equals 6 divided by the tangent of 30, which is 10.4. All right, so that is the height then, 10.4. So what we have is a triangle, so base times height divided by 2. So the base of the entire triangle is 12. The height is 10.4, and then we divide that by 2. So that will be the area of the triangle. And that gives you 62.4. That's the area of this triangle right here. And then there are 6 triangles to make up that hexagon. So we have to multiply that by 6. So that's 374.4. So that is the area of the hexagon. So we'll just substitute that value in, 374.4. And the height of it from the base up to the tippy top is 17. And punch that out in your calculator, and you should get 2,121.6 feet cubed. So a little bit more involved, but again, if you write your formula down, that gives you a roadmap for how to solve the problem. This next problem says the volume is 216 pi inches cubed. We have to find x. So with a problem like this, what I always do is write out the formula. So volume of a cone is 1/3 area of the base, which is pi r squared, times the height. And then simplify everything that you know. Or not simplify, substitute in everything that you know. The volume we know is 216 pi. And we know the radius is, we'll call that x. And the height is 18. And I always like to get rid of fractions first. So the opposite of dividing by 2 is multiplying by 2. So we're going to multiply this side by 2 and multiply this side by 2. So that cancels out your fractions. So we have 432 pi equals pi times x squared times 18. So now we can divide. We want to get the x by itself. So let's divide by pi first of all. So then we have 432, and I'm going to write this as 18x squared. And then we'll divide by 18. So we have 432 divided by 18, and that gives us 24. And that equals x squared. And then to solve for x, you take the square root of both sides. And the square root of 24 is approximately 4.9. So that's your answer. All right, and this is the assignment you're going to be doing. So the thing that you want to do is write down your formula and just fill in your numbers here. So let's cross off number 3 because that's just not pictured very well on your worksheet. All right, let me just kind of do a couple here with you. So here we have a cone. So volume equals 1/3 area of the base, and the base is a circle, times the height. So it would be 1/3 times pi times 6 squared times 11. And I'll just multiply that out on my calculator. And you should end up with 414.7 meters cubed because it's volume. All right, and then let's look at number 9. It says the volume is 56 meters cubed. We have to find the value of x, so we need to find the height. So volume equals area 1/3 area of the base times the height. So we're going to be a little more specific. We know the volume is 56. And with our triangle here, let me see, we have to do some figuring. We don't know, we know the base of the triangle is this side and the height is 6. And we know the hypotenuse is 10. So we're going to need to do the Pythagorean theorem to find this first. So 6 squared plus, we'll call this a y. Y squared equals 10 squared. And when you work that out, I think that's going to be 8. Yep, that's 8. All right, so it's going to be this area of the triangle is going to be 6 times 8 divided by 2, which is 24. So I can put that in right here. And then the perpendicular height is x. So 56 equals, now you could multiply both sides by 3, but 1/3 of 24 is 8. So I'm just going to go ahead and multiply those right away, just to make it a little bit easier. So x equals 7. All right, and then lastly, you're going to be finding the volumes of the cones. And here we still need a little bit more information. Like, we don't have the radius, but we do have a triangle, a right triangle. And so if I call that x, I can use trig to find the value of x. Or you could use what you know about a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So this is your opposite of 60. This is your adjacent. So again, that will be tangent. So the tangent of 60 equals 18 over x. Cross multiply, x times the tangent of 60 equals 18. And then we have to divide to find x. So x is equal to about 10.4. And so now you have your radius, you can just write down your formula and solve it from there. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.